Hiring managers. I want to talk to you today about the scum of the earth. The absolute worst human beings on the fucking planet. Hiring managers. It's like finding a job nowadays is getting shittier and shittier. And I don't know what it is. Is it because of the hiring managers? Because including the hiring managers in this gatekeeping process of holding people off from attaining the corporate nipple is making things a lot more shittier. Like they keep moving the goalposts. They're moving the goalposts like it's in the fucking witness protection program. And I frankly don't know what we as working class people are supposed to do about it. Our fate, your fate, my fate is in their hands. And that's, to me, that's unnerving. Because that means basically our fate is decided by some cold, heartless, faceless, soulless, just a suit, just a horrible, hate-filled human suit behind a desk that just stares at resumes all day like they're reading the fucking tea leaves, like scrying fucking chicken bones, trying to predict some super perfect ideal candidate. It's like, go figure. Yeah, Jesus Christ, man. It's brutal out there. And let me tell you, the hiring manager, fucking gatekeepers, they're a part of the problem. It's like they're the gatekeepers of the middle class itself. Like, all together. Something's not right here. Let me move this over here. Let me go over here. I'm moving my little thingamajig over to this side here. Look, it's nicer, it's easier. It's more convenient for me, for you. So, I mean, hiring managers are the gatekeepers of the middle class. Like, period, dude. Period. Like, oh, you want some economic stability? Or do you want just a little bit of social mobility? You don't want the stress of not knowing if you're going to be making ends meet or if you're tying a fucking noose around your neck? Well, you better learn to dance, monkey. Learn to dance, wage monkey. Because if you do not have the golden ticket, and what is that golden ticket? Experience. Now here it is. Okay, here is the devil's circle. You're entering into the seventh circle of unemployment hell. That is experience. And let me just paint this picture for you. The circle of hell that these hiring manager gatekeepers gloat over being the guardians of. Okay, here's the devil's circle. The devil's toil that you just need to step through. Okay, you can't get a job without experience, right? But you can't get experience without a fucking job. How does that sound? Is that logical to you? Does that make any fucking sense? Oh, sorry. You don't meet every minutia detail that's been outlined in our fucking massive 1,000 point wish list of requirements that we call a job description. It's like they don't just expect you nowadays to be able to cross the fucking Andes on your hands and feet and toil in the snow. There's just massive requirements that you've got to walk through. It's the goalposts. They're gatekeeping. They're gatekeeping you from what exactly, my friend? That is the question here. They're gatekeeping you from just your basic human needs. They fucking hate you. They hate you. They don't want you to achieve anything. They think in maths, and they don't give a shit about your unique, divine uniqueness. They think of you as a product. These hiring managers, they don't give a damn about people. They don't give and which is completely fucking crazy because most of them are HR scumbags. They don't see the sweat. They don't see the tears, the toil, the nights spent pacing the floors, wondering how you're going to pay the rent or be able to afford your next fucking avocado toast. Just Just anything, give me anything, God, to numb the pain of this bullshit. This horrible, awful, lowly existence as a working class trying to suck up to these fucking clowns. To them, listen, you're not human. You're not human at this point. You're a product. You're a checklist. Your bullet points on a list, a collection of your buzzwords, your experience, and you're trying to make yourself sound more important than you ever really are, than you ever really felt, that you really think you are. It's fake as fuck is what it is. It's fake as fuck. This whole interview bullshit, interviewing, groveling to these fucking disgusting, depraved lunatics. Like I was fucking molested by Mordecai, the dancing Yiddish bar mitzvah clown, when he fucking tried to convert me to Judaism by exposing to me his kishka, all right? And that shit was less degrading than any modern interview I've been in. But that's okay. He molested me. I molested him back. So, case closed. But you have no power here. There's no power for you. You're selling yourself for a pittance, for a wage. You're a slave. You're selling yourself. Like, what is selling a human being? If it's yourself or it's another person, what's the fucking difference? Like, seriously, like, tell me what's the fucking difference right now, any day? The slave is sold, once and for all. You, on the other hand, you gotta sell yourself to the next hiring manager. You gotta sell yourself. Try selling yourself to a company. Try to convince them that you're worth something. Like, don't believe that don't internalize that bullshit, okay? It's a disgusting place to be in. This whole thing is a disgusting practice, and it's amazing to me that it has not yet been abolished. It must be stopped. It must be stopped at all fucking costs. It is not human. It's not a humanitarian process. It's not a humanism, all right? This idea, this weird posturing, I don't know what it is. It's like degraded groveling with that whole fake smile. Like, I don't know what is more disconcerting, that like how this practice of this insidious groveling to these gatekeepers, like just for the access to basic human requirements, just the basic necessities. You have to get past these fucking people because you can't buy food without money, right? You can't get money without a job, and you can't get a job without getting past the gatekeepers. It's just basic indecency. This is indecent. This is immoral. And it amazes me. It's amazing how this has been internalized by society. It's been internalized so much to the point where nobody even questions it anymore. Nobody even questions this institution. The fact that individuals, you and me, must compete against each other. Us working class people must compete, sometimes aggressively, sometimes just talking shit, just flat out war, right? Just for the right to be exploited within this horrible system. That's what we're trying to do. It's already horrible as it is. The result of what we're trying to achieve, that is that we're exploiting ourselves to be more exploited within this stupid fucking system, it's even worse, man. It's just indicative of a broader moral failing of this whole institution, this whole system. It's what it does. Okay, here's basically what it does. It's the needs of a person. It prioritizes first and foremost, as it always does, what benefits the business owning class, over just keeping the dignity and autonomy of general human beings. It was Thomas Jefferson who said that, dependency breeds servitude. And there's nothing more dependent than making people, articulating an entire society, an entire class, to be dependent on a wage, which is just exploitation. Like, how is letting capital, How's letting these business interests, the business nobility, decide policies that fuck over workers not considered a bad thing? How's that not considered a terrible way to organize society? It's fucking awful. You can't eat without money. You can't get money without a job, and you can't get a job without the fucking gatekeepers deciding if you could go suckle at the boss's great economic nipple. They're like, but you kind of see the bullshit here. They're in the system too. They're working class peoples like ourselves. They're handlers. The handlers, they've given them this sort of all-powerful power over life and death. Because, they got the key. They've got the key now to the paycheck, the ticket you need to just to keep your head above water, just to keep the lights on in that dingy little apartment that smells like cat piss and regret. They're the ones, the gatekeepers. They get to decide whether you get to eat this month or if you're going to be pawning off your last bit of dignity at some greasy pawn shop down the block. Go figure. The whole thing's insane, man. Okay, you see this. You see this. Okay. The hiring manager, in the purest sense of the word, represents nothing more than the gatekeepers of the neoliberal capitalism. They are the arbiters. They are the clerisy. They're the priesthood. They're the priesthood of the corporation, the new cathedral, if you will. You want access to the stuff. The only institution, the only inlet, the only outlet that ensures that the working class gets their basic needs is employment. That's it. Well, you know what you gotta do. You gotta get past the hiring manager. You gotta juke them. You gotta freaking set a pick. You gotta get them on point guard next to Scottie Pippen. Let's face it, folks. It's every year it's getting fucking harder. It's getting seemingly impossible, more difficult. Every fucking year, I swear to God. You know what it is? Because the business class. They need to have everyone dependent on them. They need to have everybody desperate. It wants more. It wants more for itself. It wants more power. It needs the army. It needs you guys to be the army. It needs us to be the army of unemployed. The unemployed, desperate reserve army of labor. The poor, exploited, underemployed workers who exist just so wages. The desperation of keeping unemployment high. That artificially elevated desperation. It's so that they can suppress wage movements to control and discipline their employees. Because if you leave, if you actually had an option to leave, which is completely ideological bullshit. You don't have the option to leave. If you actually had that option, you might have a little bit more control back from the business class, from the business owning class. But no, you can't even have that. They have to maintain a weakened labor reform, because they don't want you organizing, and it just goes on and on. These hiring managers think that they're fucking amazing or something. They think they're from a different planet, but they're just because they control access to that job, which you and I need so bad, that makes our livelihoods happen. They get to decide if you get to be a part of that system, which is fucked up, which is completely fucked up. If you don't get it, if you don't get the job, you didn't convince them, you didn't dance the little puppet dance and say the little fucking magic words, you're done, you're out. You don't get food, you don't get clothes, you're in a state of desperation, or you're clinging to a horrible job situation that you might already be in. If you don't have access to the flow of capital, well, then I'm sorry, you don't get to eat. You don't get health care. You don't get anything. A society that doesn't secure that for people, I don't understand how this could be considered just. Like, where are you going to get the money? You're going to get for the food. You're going to get from the fucking government. Oh, fat chance they're giving all your money to the Ukraine to fund fucking forever wars, or Venezuelan illegal immigrants to go and terrorize fucking downtown Detroit. I don't know. They don't want you to have any. They don't want to build the infrastructures here. They don't want you to have more power. That's why they're doing these things. That's why the Democrats and the Republicans are doing just fucked up shit with the money that they siphon off of our income. They want your money so they can virtue signal to their wealthy donors, their wealthy elite donors, just how nice they are. You know, it's at the little multi-billionaire donor wine mixers. But people are starting to realize that hard work and bootstrapping were never the main drivers of success. It's not how much you can work. It's how much you can bullshit these fucking hiring manager clowns into thinking, into trickery. You scam the scammers. It's a system built on crushing the spirit, keeping you crawling on your hands and knees, begging these fucking idiots for the chance to be exploited, to have a shitty fucking wage slave position. Like you're pleading, please let me sell you my soul for like a measly wage, a wage that barely covers the cost of survival. And it's getting worse, people. It's getting worse and worse. And these gatekeepers, they play their role well. I'll give them that. They do play their role well. They're the middlemen. They're the middlemen in the most brutal transaction on the planet. They keep the machine well-oiled. They keep things running smoothly, you know. But here's the thing. Here's the one thing. They're working class, just like you and me. They're just as trapped. We must forgive them. We must forgive them, but we must overcome them. They are something to be overcome for the working class to reach its class consciousness, to create a one union guild. And maybe they don't know this. Maybe they're still stuck in it. They're stuck in the shittiness. Maybe they do think they're above it all. I don't know. I can't speak for every single one of them. Because they do have the power. They have the power to say yes or no, to make or break someone's life with just the stroke of a pen, the little typing of a keyboard. But they're just cogs. They're just cogs in the system, like you and me. They're stuck. They're playing their part in the grand farce that we call employment, and they're the gatekeepers. So yeah, but they're guarding a prison, not a palace. And what does that say? What does that say about the rest of us? You know, the ones on the other side of the interview aisle, of this, not the interviewer, the interviewee. You know, it says, I don't know, we're probably the inmates. We're the ones who've been sentenced to this life of toil, of punching the clock, going through the motions, day in, day out, losing our power ever more, no matter what we do. Like the boomers had it easy. The boomers were able to afford a house to sustain a family on basically one income, you know? But you're dying. You're drowning in a tide of bills and responsibilities, and you have 3 fucking jobs and you can't even get by. And what do? They blame you. You're to blame. Watching these fucking Dave Ramsey bullshit, these fucking multimillionaire douchebags shaming the working class because you're buying avocado toast. So here's the dirty little secret, okay? The gates aren't real. It's an illusion. It's a light trick designed to keep us in line, to keep us believing the only way out is through them, you know? The truth is, we've always had the power to walk away. We have the power. We are the working class. We are labor, right? We have a monopoly on labor. The machine doesn't work without labor. They need us more than we need them. Like, who creates the shit? Who creates the products? They don't do dick, dude. They don't do shit. The whole damn system. We could live our lives on our own terms. We could change things, but it takes guts. It takes a willingness to let go of the comfort and security that those gates promise, that lays beyond that gated community of the employment. But we got to do something about it. So, keep playing the game. Keep putting on your best face, that fucking bullshit interview face. What? Oh, yeah. Yes. Yeah. Keep pretending like you give a damn about the corporate buzzwords. Like, keep pretending. See how that pans out. Keep talking the management speak. Keep knocking on those gates, hoping one day they'll swing open. But deep down inside, you know the truth. You and I both know the truth. You don't give a fuck. You are not loyal to the corporation. You're in it for the money. None of this bullshit interests you. The gates, it's a trap. Another way to keep us working class from realizing that we got the key all along. We got the fucking keys to the